Hey everyone, so for us for today, it rained quite a bit here, but I see there's tornado warnings again that are forming in different parts of Ontario, especially like in Mississauga. So I guess we have to buckle down and pray that it passes over and that there's no more fires coming up, but it's quite scary. I've never been so close to a tornado before, and it's my first time experiencing all this. So let's hope we'll be safe. But one of the things I wanted to share for emergency preparedness, and it's one of the things that we learned in Zimbabwe, especially when you're growing up and you're growing up with fires that sometimes go out of control, or there's emergencies, the war. We had a system in place where they call it call trees. So everybody has somebody that they need to call in an emergency so that they know where they're going to meet, what they're going to do, and then from there a convoy would form and you would decide where you are going to meet. So if Kwekwe was unsafe, people would go to Harare traveling in convoy, or go to Bulawayo, or go to the next town. Over here, it's, you can plan it to say, okay, we're going to have our meeting point from our office location at the Sheraton or at another major point where you can go in, your team will be taken care of, you'll be able to maybe check into a hotel if needed. But in this kind of a situation, it's very different. I've never experienced anything like this, where there's these wildfires that are affecting so many people. And people are actually being flown into Toronto. There are centers that have been opened up. So let's hope for the best and pray that we don't get any more wildfires. But for anyone working in HR, working in management, that's one of the things I've been responsible for. So having the call trees, updating them, knowing who's going to call who. Normally it would be like a manager, and then the manager would call everybody underneath them to make sure that they're okay. You can do it for your family as well. You can say, okay, this person is going to be the person to call, and obviously if that person's place is affected, then somebody else will do it. But it's just a way to be prepared. I've also shared many videos about having extra things on hand, like tin foods, a primer stove if you have that. And these are not things that are coming from me. It's actually something I grew up with that we know, but it's also something the Canadian government has put out now, that where possible, because you might have power cuts, have extra blankets, or have extra food, tin foods, things like that. For people like me who are not working, I guess you just make do with what you have. But it's always good to buy a few extra things when you're going to the grocery store. You can just pick up an extra tin of beans or lentils. Lentils are good to have, dried lentils, because you can always make a curry with them. Oats is also good to have, because oats, you don't need milk. If you run out of milk, you can eat the oats and you can sprinkle some sugar on it. So just thinking of creative ways that you can be prepared, because if you buy those buckets with the tinned foods and all that, they cost a ton. So it's easier just when you're doing your shopping and things to buy one or two things extra. For me, I'm still continuing my job search and I'm still applying for jobs. So that's also a priority for me. And I know Mark Belish, and he runs the Toronto Jobs and Kahunza. So he's got a group set up for us, and we can all communicate on there. And if people have leads, it helps, So anyway, I'm praying that I get a break soon, because it's a long, long time for me. And even basic jobs, like before when you used to have coverage days, people used to just call and say, like the recruiters, I just need someone for a day and we need you to go in. Now, even if it's a one-day coverage for reception, the hiring managers want to interview you. They want to have a virtual interview and then decide whether they want you to come in for the day or not. So even when I went to work downtown for my one-day assignment, I had to have a virtual interview. And then because they liked me, then they said, okay, yeah, you can come and cover the reception for the day. So that just shows you how things have changed. Even in England, I never had interviews. Like if they needed a temp coverage, if it was for 3 months or a year, the agency would just present me, the recruiting firm, send my resume over, and then they'd say, okay, yeah, we like her resume, or we like her CV, tell her she can come. So things have changed a lot, and it's a tough market out there. Sometimes I get jobs or offers for things that I'm not qualified for, like financial advisor. I can't do that job. I don't have the licenses to do that job. So I'm focusing on my areas of specialization: project management, administration, HR, retail. I'm focusing on those areas. So let's see where we at and how things go. But I really hope that we don't get any more fires. It's quite scary. It was 1,000 fires, and then now it's down to 900, but every time the lightning hits, another fire starts, and it's destroying our forests. It's destroying all the areas that are beautiful, and people, animals, everything's affected. Even if you're not in that fire, the smoke comes over, and then those s'mores and all that affect all of us. So let's hope for the best. But I just wanted to share that on the call trees and how we can take steps if we're working or even in our families to say, okay, this is who we're going to call and this is how we're going to coordinate, so that nobody's left alone, nobody's left like stranded.